It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Good evening, everybody. Ernie Johnson here with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Great to have you with us on 2K.
Bye, Ernie.
Oh, say does that
Hey, look, it's that girl again.
Hello, fans.
She travels all around the country just to sing the Star Spangled
And
Banner.
as always, thanks to you. That kind of unpredictability helps in some settings, can cause many matchup problems for the D.
2 seasons ago, you think about the Blazers. They were a young, overachieving team full of great bargain contracts. Well, yeah, they're still young, but they had to shell out some big-time cash to kind of keep that young nucleus together.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the floor right now for the Mavericks, we've got Hardaway. Richardson is out there with Sharge. Then there's Towns, and it's Russell in at the 1 spot. So the Portland Trail Blazers able to put the first points up on the board. Towns, no luck. Here's Roberson, guarded by Hardaway. And Mills kicks to Roberson. The pass to Griffin. And here's Mills from the arc. That drops. And it comes off an assist from Griffin. Mills has got himself on the board with 3 there. Towns in the corner. Takes the 3. Another miss by Towns. Portland's gone 2 of 2 from 3-point range here in the first quarter. Mills in the corner. A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. Back to Aminu. Griffin a screen on Towns. Shot clock at 5. Cousins the pass to Aminu. Off target from 3-point range. And it's the Mavericks on the break. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. Dallas shooting their first shots of the night from the charity stripe. And the first one at the line is good.
Well, you hear a lot of disparaging, hating remarks directed towards jump shooting teams, but the Mavericks make no apologies. I mean, that's their game offensively, and that's their story, and they're sticking to it.
He hits both from the stripe. And you look at the numbers, whether it's 3-pointers or mid-range shots, spot-up or pull-up, you name it. If it's a jumper, Dallas will live off it.
And you know what, Kevin? If the NBA game was played more like a game of horse, they would be a powerhouse. And, you know, with their defensive scheme clogging the paint, they dare opponents to get into a shoot-it-out with them because they feel like they win that game most times.
Now Russell, following the miss by DeMarcus Cousins from deep. Hardaway, no good. And Roberson kicks to Mills. Out left to the wing. And the wide open shot from Griffin. A 3-pointer, no good. Dallas has gone 0-3 from 3-point land. Nothing yet going outside. Again, the miss by the Mavericks. The Trailblazers have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. And Mills kicks to Griffin. 1:35 left in the first. 6 on the shot clock. Aminu. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers. Mavericks trail by 4.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Screened by Russell. And Saric kicks to Towns. Shoots over Cousins. Russell from long range. Again, the miss by the Mavericks. Portland leading by 4. Dishes it to Mills. Passes to Cousins. Shoots over Towns, and it's Cousins. That time on the assist by Mills.
And one of the top scorers in our game. Cousins has an incredible combination of strength and skill.
Cousins pulls it in.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint.
Screened by Cousins. Here's Roberson, guarded by Hardaway. Griffin dishes to Robertson. Fires the 3. And the rebound goes to the Mavericks. A tough loss coming against New York in their last game played.
Yeah, their last outing was a rough one. Have to be careful of falling in love with that three.
And you know what, Greg? You can't afford to be a one-function offense. You know what I mean? You've got to be versatile. You got to spread it out and mix it up inside, too.
That shot by Griffin, no good.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
And that concludes the first quarter. And Blake Griffin grew up playing the game alongside his old.
You know, watching him kind of go through the process.
Well, talking about taking the right course, we know that the older brother of Blake Griffin, 3 years older, you know, he played, as did Blake, for their dad Tommy in high school, and they were terrific high school players and 4-time state champions.
I mean, it always helps to have a big brother who's kind of been there and done that and can share those experiences with you. It doesn't hurt to have a dad also who's a pro player either, and also a college coach.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And taking a look at the Trailblazers' performance here, boys. What do you think they're doing or not doing?
Like shooting threes.
And not giving up anything easy early on.
Exactly. I mean, they've made their presence felt on this end. Excellent job contesting shots so far.
On the floor for Dallas, they've got Towns, D'Angelo Russell out there with Hardaway. Then it's Josh Richardson, and it's Saric in at the 4. Here's Towns, and he didn't get quite enough under that one.
I tell you, that is not what they want. A contested jump shot, defense right on him. You need to get a better shot than that.
Roberson, the pass to Mills. Cousins against Towns, and Cousins throws it down.
And, you know, DeMarcus Cousins is used to playing through contact. I mean, he's excellent at overwhelming the defense with his strength.
Greg, when you watch DeMarcus Cousins play, you can see the beating he takes in the post, can't you?
Yeah, and that's just how it goes with star centers, with the size and activity of Cousins. And just like Shaq in the sense, big bruising centers are hard to officiate. Other players can lay into them and not even make a dent, but anyone else, it would be a foul.
Now here's Mills after the miss from Karl Anthony Towns. It's Richardson on the wing. The feed to Hardaway. Over Aminu. Hardaway, no good.
Boy, they ran the offense well to get this look. Even though he missed it, I think they liked the shot.
Mills in the corner. Off target with his 3.
Take a drink every time
another three
Blazers
after
miss a
nailing
corner
one
three.
in the first, but I don't think that's going to stop him from shooting.
Russell kicks to Hardaway. Feeds it to Richardson. Towns sets the pick for Richardson. Russell from long range. He doesn't hit that one. Now Portland takes it the other way. They come into this one having outplayed the Magic last game.
And that was not an easy game for them. I mean, they barely hung on at the end of regulation before they were able to pull it out in overtime.
And it could turn out to be one of their biggest wins of the season. I mean, just because of the way they came through when it mattered most. That's clutch play that could serve them well going forward.
On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Fellas, Al-Farouq Aminu has established himself as a great defensive player, and he wants that recognition. He said, my goal every year is to be Defensive Player of the Year. I want to guard 1 through 4 and even 5 sometimes. I want it to be known that I'm a great defender. I want the league to recognize that. Devin?
Thanks, David. Aminu continues to prove his worth on the defensive end. His length and quickness certainly hard to deal with.
Just a little confusion among the D as to who was supposed to be on it.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. They set the pick. Screen by Saric. Richardson kicks to Towns. Over Aminu, and Towns gets it to go. Towns has got 6.
Gaining a lot of poise in this area. Towns will make the mid-range jumper if you give it to him now.
Here's Roberson. Aminu, no one around him, and that's not going to go. And the first half is now 5 right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away after the break. We'll see you right back here for the start.
And now, the 2K Sports
Hello again,
Halftime
everybody,
Show.
along with Kenny the
Imagine
Jet
being a
Smith,
bye week and
and
having a win.
the first quarter for the Trailblazers was fairly even. The biggest lead they were able to get out to during the first period was 6 points. Taking a look at the Trailblazers, Shaq, how do you think the Trailblazers were playing?
Literally 19%
Well, who would
field
have
goal.
thought they'd
And it's just about time.
Like, how do you even function? How do you even function?
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment. After like what you're seeing. Mavericks trailed by 8. And Al-Farouq Aminu, the 8th overall pick back in 2010. He's found his niche as a defensive-minded, small ball power forward.
And Kevin, think about that 7'3" wingspan, which will help him defend against bigger, stronger players. And his skill game, though, still looking for some consistency in the offense.
We've got Mills. Griffin is out there with Aminu. And there's Roberson. And it's Cousins in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. So that's who Terry Stotts starts the second half. The Mavericks have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line.
And they had a lot of success a season ago as a team, hitting about 80% of their free throws. Just solid, really one of the very best there is at the free throw line.
Griffin a screen on Hardaway. And Roberson kicks to Cousins. Shoots over Towns. And there's DeMarcus Cousins on the assist from Roberson. And it's 6 points for DeMarcus Cousins.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
everybody on the same page, completely in sync.
Oh,
Tremendous communication
look at
and
that
awareness.
speed.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
Clearly a frustrating missed opportunity there. Perfect screen, got him the space he needed, but he bricked it.
Good on the triple. And now an 11-point Portland lead.
Yeah, they're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. Well, Clark, we know one thing. You are a connoisseur of scoring in the post. Which players, in your opinion, do you love to watch go to work on the block?
I tell you, DeMarcus Cousins is really good down there. He's got all of the tricks, and he's got size and great footwork, pretty decent athleticism as well. Karl Anthony Towns, very proficient. But again, I go back to my man Zach Randolph. I mean, he's close to the ground. He's a lefty, and Zebo just gets it done in a way that I enjoy.
And Griffin stays with it. Griffin's got the lead up to 11 now for the Trailblazers.
That is really good work there on the offensive glass.
Hardaway dishes to Towns. Back to Hardaway. That's tipped.
They're in a hurry. I think, Kevin, they're rushing things a little bit to begin the half. Nothing pretty about this 1-for-4 start.
It's good.
And those are the kinds of plays that are just killing them right now.
Priority and goal number one has to be tightening up the defense. They can't afford to give him open looks.
And stolen by Cousins. Now here's Mills. He's guarded by Russell. Aminu misses. Mavericks trail by 13. Outside Hardaway. Kicks it to Russell. Towns, the pass to Russell. Outside Hardaway. Just 5 to shoot. Saric just screen on Griffin. Hardaway for 3. Offensive rebound. Saric up and in on the layup. Saric has got 4 points now in the quarter.
Great effort, terrific instincts. That's just solid all-around play, Kevin.
Oh, Griffin in position. Towns with the steal. Here's Richardson. And it's Portland with the rebound. Aminu's got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Griffin, and yep, that's going to be a flagrant foul. Unnecessary.
Kevin, that's a pretty dangerous
wow,
play
way to
right
body
there.
him.
I don't like to see a player put an opponent in harm's way, as much as you just saw him do there. Glad they pinned a flagrant on him.
Yeah, you're right, Greg. The officials were all over it. They weren't going to let him off the hook that time. One of the most impressive things about Blake Griffin is Greg when he gets out and runs the open floor.
Yeah, not to mention his ability to run the break himself. A terrific ball handler, even under pressure, and one of the best passers at the 4 in the league, if not the best.
Cousins with a screen on Russell. Here's Roberson, guarded by Hardaway. And Roberson kicks to Cousins. And the rejection by Towns.
Good rejection.
Great timing on the block there. Towns helps affect winning in a lot of different ways.
That one's in there. The Trailblazers lead is cut down now to just 11 on the bucket from Saric.
Give credit where credit is due right there. A terrific assist.
And Mills kicks to Cousins. Robertson dishes to Griffin. Bucket is good. Griffin's got 6 points in the quarter.
Yeah, he's become very reliable with that mid-range jump shot. The defense can't let him get comfortable from there.
And so it's the Portland Trailblazers looking at a 13-point lead heading into the next quarter. They've been playing some ferocious defense. We've got more in store for you right after this. Terry Stotts had some advice for his team. Let's hear what he had to say.
I don't have any problem with the jump shots we take.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. Trailblazers leading by 13 on the floor for Dallas. Dario Saric is out there with Josh Richardson. Then there's Hardaway. And there's D'Angelo Russell. And it's Towns in at the center position. Outside Hardaway. Screened by Russell. Baseline try. That one wide left.
And there have been some terrible shot choices here, Kev. That's not a good look at all.
And the rebound goes to the Mavericks. Towns has got his 8th rebound here tonight. Takes the 13-footer. Mills with the rebound.
Well, you see the struggles he's having getting
free.
anything to go.
Yeah, I'm sure he's frustrated, Greg, because nothing is falling right now. But he's going to keep chipping away at it, and that's the attitude. Stay with it.
Dallas calls timeout.
It's a wash.
And for the Mavericks, clearly the rebuild, Greg, has begun.
Yeah, but they made good use of their picks. They brought in more youth and signed their building blocks. Franchise isn't used to rebuilding, but they are approaching it, I think, the right way.
He gets a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, during the break, I listened in on Rick Carlisle's huddle. He said, fellas, I know you're tired, but you can't coast now. You've got to go harder. This game is in sight. We got to power through and get it. Words from a champion. Back to you.
Only 4 threes. You'll be fine.
Here's
You
Griffin.
can do it. Just don't give up any.
Pass to Roberson. There's the dish to Cousins. And he drops in the layup off the glass. And the Trailblazers lead by 14.
You know, I really enjoy watching Cousins go to work deep inside. I mean, it feels like, to me, nobody can guard him down there.
Towns, the screen. And they call an illegal screen here.
Yeah, still moving a little bit when he set that screen. You'll argue that he was set, but I really didn't think so.
It was very close, and I wouldn't mind letting them play on that one. It wasn't blatant by any means.
I think they're doing full-court traps.
Now here's Mills. Tight defense on him. And stolen by Richardson.
Oh, good block.
And he makes the bucket, drew contact, and gets the whistle, too.
Yeah, what a nice play. Just a coaster-coaster by himself off of that steal.
And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Portland.
You know, one of the big stories has been the 3-ball. It's been a key part of their offense throughout the game.
And I also love the way they move the basketball. Their passing has been outstanding here in the second half.
5 on the clock. Here's Griffin. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim. Clark, you were a strong free throw shooter when you played. Why do some big men have such a hard time being at least serviceable at the free throw line?
Well, I'm not as big as some of the biggest guys that have the most trouble. Typically, you see guys north of 6'8", 6'9", struggling tremendously from the line in general. And because of that, I think sometimes it's the mechanics of shooting the ball, and big hands can sometimes be a hindrance to that. Oftentimes, it's a matter of how much do you work at it, and how soon do you start working at it. A lot of times, big guys tend to focus on their post moves and scoring the ball close to the bucket and not as much as shooting. But you're seeing more and more big guys with sweet strokes, and I think it's a matter of, again, basic fundamentals, mechanics, and then putting in hours and hours and hours of work on it.
And Cousins kicks to Mills. Cousins with a screen on Russell. Here's Roberson. It's rebounded by Dallas. Russell with a wide open look. Bounces high off the rim and drops.
This is not the team we've been watching for most of the night.
Well, hopefully they can ride this momentum into the next game, because this one is done. Over. Fine.
Now here's Mills. He's guarded by Russell. Pass to Roberson. Screen by Cousins. Takes a three. It's rebounded by Towns. And here's Richardson outside. Aminu grabs the miss. And so Portland takes this one, but by a big margin. Some good competition, but the whole all right.
Well, he looks upset even though they won.
Well, folks, that's
I don't think he's ever been part of a winning culture. He just doesn't know what's going on. When all you take is three-pointers and you're leading your team 36 and 21, yeah, you might be MVP of your own team. The light-skinned Towers are 24-24, then 24 and 6. Roberson and Mills played okay. Richardson 1 for 7, Hardaway 1 for 8, Towns 3 for 8. I can't. Working the post and paint versus right there, right in front of the paint. And he only made 10 shots that game. That's all. That's pretty meh. You gotta make more than 10. You just got it.